Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Intuitive Energy Forecast for May 31st, 2022. I'm Arlene Grace, an Intuitive Energy Coach, Master Numerologist, and channel. Take whatever resonates for you, leave the rest behind, knowing that if you are pulled to this video, it may be because there's this message here for you. So, as I'm feeling into the energy today, there's this inner tension. There's this feeling of something is happening. But what's happening is this inner tension. It feels as though we're in this place of transmutation. We are changing form. We're shifting. And there may be this desire to hibernate. There may be a desire to go out for a walk. You may not necessarily want to do the things. In fact, that's what's shifting, the doing of the things. And in this, there's an invitation to call in grace. What does grace feel like in my body? I can feel all of you feeling that in the body. I love that. And so the metaphor that comes through is a whale. So it takes a young whale about a year to breach the surface of the ocean. And in that time, in that year, underneath the water, this whale is learning to socialize. It's learning how to swim. It is growing muscle mass. It is, observing what is up top above the surface. It can feel or it can sense that there is sunlight there, not knowing that it's sun. It can see its dolphin friends, jumping out of the water and then coming back into the water. It can see that it's, there is something more beyond what is underneath the water. During this time, it's growing stronger. It is, connecting. It's feeling safe with its, I want to say herd. It is learning through what it sees, what it is experiencing while it's continuing to grow, right? And there's an inspiration. It feels this inspiration after about a year to go up and to breach the surface. And now it has enough muscle mass. Now it has enough strength to actually lift itself up to the surface. And in this lifting up into or up to the surface, it can feel the pressure. It can feel the this intense tension as it continues to move up. And it has to have the strength to be able to lift itself up over the water. And in that lifting up to the water, it has to be certain, it has to know that it is going to happen. It believes that it is going to happen. And as it comes closer and closer or higher and higher up towards the surface, it can feel so much tension that it's almost as though it hits a wall. And this is the wall. And at that time, this is where the whale calls in the grace. And it knows that it's not doing it all on its own. And it continues to move forward until it breaches the surface to experience something new. Now it's experiencing the wind. It's experiencing the air. It's experiencing the sun. It might be seeing land. It might be hearing the birds. It is experiencing a new experience. But in that, there has been a transmutation. It's transformed. It has changed form within. And that's what's happening within us. Today feels, and this will continue over the next couple of days. It feels as though we are transforming from within, and it feels like doing the inner work. And in this doing of the inner work, because today we are in the Ace of Clubs and the 6, we're in this place of this single focus. I know that I'm moving in this direction and I will receive the insights that will inspire me to breach the surface. And at this time, I'm going to look around my life and I'm going to bring in the harmony. I'm going to notice the beauty. I'm going to know that whatever is happening within me will be experienced. And so I'm going to believe in that. And I'm going to observe that, and I'm going to witness that. And so in this inner tension, am I willing to continue to focus on what it is that I want to experience? Right? What are my mental thoughts? What are my emotions? Am I willing to be? Am I willing to be in that? There's nothing to do. Because what feels like is shifting is the idea that we have to do, is the idea that we have to work hard in order to be successful, that we have to do all of these things. We're shifting from this dynamic of 80% action, 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 action in order to receive our results to maybe 20%. We'll begin at 70%, 60, 50, 40, 20% action, because everything else is from within. And so feeling the inner tension of, well, what if I didn't have to work hard in order to achieve what it is that I want to experience, in order to, have this, whatever, this idea of success in my business, this relationship dynamic with my partner, wealth. What if it all began in here? Right? And so what you are feeling is that you may not necessarily be inspired to do a lot today. In fact, over the next course of the couple days, you may not feel inspired to take a lot of action. But I want you to realize that action may not necessarily always be on the outside, meaning the doing. That action is actually the inner work. It's navigating our own thoughts and our own emotions. It is directing our focus into what it is we want. That is an action. It's an inner action. And so are you willing to play with this feeling that you're feeling by landing into trust and feeling into grace? Now, whether grace comes in through you simply calling it in, through meditation, through prayer. Now, without it doesn't have to be with the dogma. It can be burning sage. It can be, meditating with a stone. It can be doing all of these things. And yet we can simply call in the energy of grace in a moment. Because when you call in grace, you are no longer doing this alone. You invite in the divine creator, God, the universe, your spirit guides, your higher self, to transmute with you. Right? What if you didn't have to do anything to transmute from within, except be and allow the transmutation to take place? Right? It's very much like putting a pot of water on the stove, turning on the stove and just allowing it to transmute on its own. Same with you today. And so there's this invitation to really come into the body and to ask yourself, what is it that I am willing to do to aid myself, to support myself, to allow myself to be in this transmutation? What am I inspired to do? And as you feel into it and you allow that feeling, that inspiration to rise up, because that's grace, that you take that step. And as you take that step, you feel into it again and you ask yourself, okay, now that I've taken a nap, what is my next inspired action to support myself in this transmutation? Go for a walk. Beautiful. Go for a walk. And the more and more that you do that, the more trust you start to have for yourself. Because trust is an inner job, right? Beautiful. Questions, comments, please feel free to share, and I will be happy to respond. Wishing you all the most amazing day. And I will talk to you tomorrow. Bye for now. So much love.